Jonas rode at a leisurely pace, glancing at the bike ports beside the buildings to see if he could spot Ashers. He didn't often do this, volunteer hours with his friend Asher, because Asher frequently fooled around and made serious work a little difficult. But now, with 12 coming so soon and the volunteer hours ending, it didn't seem to matter. So here twice we've seen this word bike ports, and we've heard about people riding bikes around. What do you think a bike port is? Did you guess a parking lot for bikes, a place to leave your bike? Yes. So this shows us that there are no cars in this community, only bike ports. You can add this to your notes on words. The freedom to choose where to spend those hours had always seemed a wonderful luxury to Jonas. Other hours of the day were carefully regulated. Did you find something about rules in this paragraph? He remembered when he had become an eight, as Lily would do shortly, and he had been faced with that freedom of choice. The eights always set out on their first volunteer hour a little nervously, giggling and staying in groups of friends. They almost invariably did their hours of recreation duty first, helping with the younger ones in a place where they still felt comfortable. But with guidance, as they developed self-confidence and maturity, they moved on to other jobs, gravitating towards those that would suit their own interests and skills. A male 11 named Benjamin had done his entire nearly 4 years in the rehabilitation center, working with citizens who had been injured. It was rumored that he was as skilled now as the rehabilitation directors themselves, and that he had been developed some machines and methods to hasten rehabilitation. There was no doubt that Benjamin would receive his assignment to that field and would probably be permitted to bypass most of his trainings. So again, here's the word assignment. Assignment. What do you think assignment means? We know that it's where people are going to be working. Did you guess job? Yeah. So in this community, people are assigned jobs. People don't choose their jobs, but a group of people tells them where they will work. What do you think of this? Jonas was impressed by the things Benjamin had achieved. He knew him, of course, and since they had always been group mates, but they had never talked about the boy's accomplishments because such a conversation would have been awkward for Benjamin. There was never any comfortable way to mention or discuss one's successes without breaking the rule against bragging. So here's a clue of something to add in your notes. Even if one didn't mean to, it was a minor rule, rather like rudeness, punishable only by a gentle chastisement. But still, better to steer clear of an occasional governed by a rule which would be so easy to break. The area of dwellings behind him, Jonas rode past the community structures, hoping to spot Asher's bicycle, parked beside one of the small factories or office buildings. He passed the child care center, where Lily stayed after school, and the play areas surrounding it. He rode through the central plaza and the large auditorium where public meetings were held. Jonas slowed and looked at the name tags on the bicycles lined up outside the nurturing center. Then he checked those outside food distribution. It was always fun to help with the deliveries. And he hoped he would find his friend there so that they could go together on the daily rounds, carrying the cartons of supplies into the dwellings of the community. But he finally found Asher's bicycle, leaning as usual instead of upright in its port, as it should have been at the house of the old.